Okay, and we're back. Dear Lord. It seems Fraps really hates this game. The second I turn it off, it goes back to normal, but... Jeez Louise. I'm not sure how long I can get through this Let's Play, but I'll try and make sure I get everything new down as quickly as possible. I managed to take out those crossbowmen. We're slowly taking over the area, finally cutting through the swaths of Rodakian infantry. The Saranids are not really known for being decent. They just have a whole bunch of light infantry unless you manage to make them into Saranid Mamluks, which are basically the quote-unquote equivalent to the Swadian knights who just pretty much destroy everything. So once you get the Mamluks, you pretty much win. And someone on my Steam friends list named Senator Strawberry, i.e. Shieldclog, is complaining to me about money in this game, which is still earned the same way, which he brings up a good point. I cheat for my money. I'm just gonna say that right now. And the only reason I do that is I know people will be like, hey man, you shouldn't cheat for your money because that's not cool. That's not how you, it's not how you should be playing for the game. Well, I didn't cheat for my money until I realized to get better armor that was like 1 point better than the armor you already had, you had to pay like $1 billion. Like, that's a joke. It's like, do you want one more point of defense? Well, the way our system is worked up, you have to pay at least the triple the amount that you had to pay for the one that you're already wearing. It's just like, okay, so do I just build up a whole lot of money so I can buy this marginally better thing? That's such a joke. And I've only got 1 health point left. I'm gonna... Oh, well. I was gonna try and not die, but... God forbid that ever happened. We retreated. We killed a lot of people, and we lost a lot of... Actually, we lost more than we killed. Almost every single lord died. Or, they didn't die, they just got wounded. Whatever. We could just fight there all day, but nothing there is really that different. So, what's new? What's new? Not much. But there is this new component they added, and they spent a whole lot of time in doing it. And it's called this deal where they... Oh, they took the castle that we lost. But as I was saying, the new thing is the Lord will call you to banquets at like some random castle, and all the lords that are available will go there, and someone like the ladies from the first game actually have a purpose now besides to just give you like meaningless quests. And you can go there and you can kind of choose which one you want, and you can like wed them or whatever. But is it worth doing that? I guess. I mean, it gives you a little more say-so in your community, but not really. Like, actually, I'll go over it right now. View character report. I'm a Lord of Serenade Sultanate, obviously. I have a couple of estates. My renown, you get that just by winning battles. Do the same thing from the first game. Honor rating, that's like releasing lords in your captive, or lords that accept surrender or whatnot. And then friends, none. You just increase relationship with NPCs. Enemies, you just piss them off and they get mad at you. Now, right to rule, which I skipped, is I'm not sure exactly how it works, but basically it's like it's the more inclined you are to having the legitimacy of being a king, which is a new thing now, where you can actually create your own faction. But unfortunately, it's really buggy, and the second you create your own faction, like, you could just take over, like, if you don't pledge allegiance to anybody and you take over a castle, you get the option to choose your own faction. But the second you do that, everyone's like, you're a joke, you shouldn't be a new nation, and they just all gang up on you and you're dead. So I guess you have to keep playing this game forever and ever and ever until eventually you get to the point where your legitimacy to the throne is high enough to where and you have like enough friends that join your side to where you actually are allowed to have a kingdom and not have everyone kill you on sight. So that's new, and like having a wife that's has royal ties helps increase your right to rule. But I mean, you can only marry like one person. You can't like marry a queen or whatever. So that it kind of that it just it's like just a minor increase. Now, let me ask. Like, I can kind of show the wife interface. I think this character has a wife, or he's like in the process of wedding a wife. I just need to ask one of these lords as to where her whereabouts might be. Here's a lord. They all have telepathic sensing abilities, and they know where exactly everyone is. Well, that guy has back problems. Oh yeah, you can kick in this game. I forgot about that. You can just kick people, and you can knock them, or you can like make them stumble back constantly, and you can eventually kill them just by, if you get them in a corner, you can just keep kicking them and then they'll die. I'm Sadiq. Remember how the enemies squealed when we came over the walls of Almera? Yes. You were... He apparently doesn't like me. Okay, let me ask him... Wish to know the location of... If I can remember her name, I think it is... Zandina? I think it's Zandina. Amerad, okay. Leave. Going. Amerad. Okay, over here. Wow, this is gonna take forever. Well, as he's walking across the desert in the night, going rather slow. Let me see what else I can talk about. What else is new? They kind of increased the bandit intelligence, and they have like little bandit camps around the map now that you can assault, and you can get kind of minor loot from it, or low tier loot, I guess I should say. There for people who kind of want to level up in the lower levels. Again, they're not that big of a deal later on in the game. This save is about midway, I guess. I have another save that, if you remember from my saves list earlier, and he had like almost 300 days under his belt, and he's working for Swadia, and he's taken over pretty much all of the Kingdom of Rhodox. But I found, which was pretty annoying, is after I took over everything, more lords would kind of be like sucked into our nation, and then they would like, you know, if a lord has no fiefdoms or whatever, or fiefs to his name, he will be in the priority list of getting the automatic establishments that aren't assigned to anyone. So these lords would get them, and then occasionally the lords that were already in your kingdom would get annexed from to other nations, and then they would take their fiefs with them. So I would conquer like almost single-handedly like most of these areas, and then they'd just be like, "Well, JK, I'm leaving," and then they just go to the Kingdom of Aegers or something, and then I just have to deal with this huge white city. And it's like, why don't you just let me own everything, and then, you know,